Tonight, we are not here to perform heroics. We are here to let the day loosen its fingers, to let the mind grow simple, to lie down inside a story that knows how to end gently. This is a digital sleeping pill, not a lecture. A slow braid of images and plain thoughts, drawn from a man who wrote to himself by lamplight, Marcus Aurelius. He did not write for us. That is why what he wrote can hold us. Begin again. If you drift, return to those 2 words. They are a small door you can always find in the dark. Imagine night seeping over Rome like ink poured into water. Markets shutter. The stone of tall colonnades exhales the heat it has been holding all day. You smell the layered city, olive oil and dust, wood smoke and damp wool, the sour sweet tang of garum drying in clay jars, bread crust cooling on peel boards outside a bakery in the Subura. Oil lamps bloom along a portico, yellow halos trembling in the evening draught. Somewhere, a mule's bell shakes. Somewhere, a boy runs across paving stones, his sandals slapping, his laughter swallowed by the wide throat of night. Above it all, a man sets down a stylus. He has been writing in Greek on wax and parchment, Roman by birth, but the language of thought is Greek, the language he chooses for speaking to himself. His shoulders ache from the armor of the day, from the petitions and decisions, from the news carried up the Tiber in boats with striped sails. He pinches the wick of a lamp, then relights it with another's flame. Smoke rises. Olive oil's faint pepper. He writes a sentence to steady the inner weather, either providence or atoms. He does not demand the cosmos answer him. He gives himself permission to sleep without certainty. The duty is the same, to be decent, helpful, calm where possible. You can borrow this permission. Let the unknown be unknown tonight. Let the body believe you. It is safe to rest without solving everything. Begin again. The city has smells the day rarely lets you notice. Fresh rushes laid on a threshold. Beeswax softening under a thumbprint. Wool cloaks hanging near the hearth, holding smoke from pine wood and laurel. Fish unpacked at dawn leaves a ghost of salt in the air. Wine, watered 3-1, smells like summer dried and poured into a cup. Figs breathe sugar. Goat cheese breathes meadow. Under the threshold, smells are the hard ones, the ones we later try not to think about. Chamber pots emptied in the morning. Animals sleeping where people sleep. Ash from cook fires settling on every surface. Roughness everywhere. Cloth that scratches until it softens. Sandals that bite until the foot learns them. A bed that is straw and sometimes lice. And yet, the people sleep. Not because everything is perfect, but because bodies are allowed to be ordinary. Marcus knows these textures. He has slept in palaces and in tents along the Danube. Winter leather turned stiff with frost. He has eaten spelt porridge and kitchen scraps on campaign. He has also been offered peacock and perfumed wine. He remembers deliberately how quickly such things lose their glow. Bread is baked grain. Fine carpets are animal hair. Purple dye is a stain made by crushing sea snails. Fame is breath in other people's mouths. He reduces things not to despise them, but to make them carryable. You can try the same reduction now. What is this really? Let the mind place labels on jars, then remove the labels and see the glass. A meeting becomes a conversation that ended. A bill becomes a number waiting its turn. A criticism becomes a sentence spoken by a tired person, at a particular hour. A plan becomes a shape you will redraw tomorrow with a fresher hand. What is this really? Each answer loosens a knot. There is a room off a courtyard, lit by small lamps and a spill of moon. A slave or freedman pours oil onto Marcus's hands. He rubs it in slowly, working fatigue from the fingers that held a sword, a stylus, a seal. From the bathing room, steam goes into the night, scented with bay and myrtle. No eucalyptus here, only what the land gives. Men scrape their skin with a curved strigil, olive oil lifting the dust of the day. Laughter carries, then fades. Across the city, in 10,000 rooms, people fall into themselves. A weaver, fingers roar from warped threads. A baker, arms dusted white as marble. A mother who has buried one child and watches another breathe, counting to be sure. A stonemason, shoulders like fallen columns. A boy with a fever. The Antonine Plague will ripple through these streets and through their emperor's life, in ways we moderns know only by numbers and names. The air smells of resin and milk and ash and a child's hair. Hardships are ordinary here. Suffering is not a scandal, it is weather. Marcus knows the weather. He does not glamorize it. He also does not curse every cloud. He writes small sentences like shutters. They can be opened to let in light or closed to keep out the storm. Do the next right thing. At night, the next right thing is to rest. If anger visited you today, Marcus would show you a practice. Not a punishment, a practice. He would have you imagine the person who angered you as a child once, as a tired adult now, as a creature trying to avoid pain and find a little good, as you are. He would have you remember that your minds are kin, that you share a place in the whole. We are made for each other, he writes, not because it is easy, but because it is useful. Use it. Let the heart soften, as if warmed in a bowl of water. Let the jaw slacken, as if someone had said, kindly, you don't have to clench anymore. Let the breath travel farther down than it did a minute ago. If the mind tries to argue, give it a small job. Name the room. Wood, stone, cloth, oil, skin, air. Name what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can hear. Name them until the mind grows tired of naming and wishes to be quiet. Begin again. On the frontier, the winters along the Danube smell of iron and smoke. Snow presses the canvas of tents so that every sound is muted. Leather stiffens. Men cough. Someone sings a low song about summer vineyards, the way a man in a long night will hum about morning. In the headquarters tent, a map is weighted by bronze pins, rivers inked as veins, mountains cross-hatched as sleeping beasts. Letters arrive with mud on them, carried in bags that smell of horse. Marcus warms his hands over a brazier and writes by a traveling lamp. He writes often of acceptance and as often of duty. In storms, the mind wants to freeze or flee. He trains it to serve the work right in front of him. You can borrow this soldier's trick without the hardship. Shrink your world to what your hands and breath can touch. Everything else can be tomorrow's map. Do the next right thing. Tonight, that is, be still. Food is simpler than our stories about it. Spelt porridge sweetened with honey. Olives, wrinkled as bitten moons. A heel of bread dipped in herbed oil. Lentils simmering with onion. Dates, sticky and brown. Wine cut with water so it wakes the mouth without clouding the mind. These are not luxuries. They are the parts from which a day is built. Marcus uses food as a lesson in clear seeing. Call a thing what it is, he says. and you will not be ruled by it. Call your worries what they are: thoughts, sensations, guesses. They may be loud, they may not be true. Let them sit like bowls on a shelf. You can choose which to hold. In the palaces, every object tells a story of hands. A wool blanket, it scratches at first, then warms. A bronze lamp, it dents and still does its work. A wooden chest, it smells of cedar when opened. A wax tablet, rutted from 100 rewritings. The groove's a history of small failures and restarts. Marcus's little book is this kind of chest. He puts sentences in, takes them out, sands them with use. Begin again. It is not a slogan. It is a design. You can fail 100 times and not be a failure once. You can drift 100 times and still be returning. If the body speaks loudly tonight, Marcus would not call you weak. He would call the sensation what it is and ask you to do the same. Tightness, warmth, pulse, restlessness, dull ache. When you call a sensation by its simple name, you remove the crown from its head. It becomes a citizen among citizens, not a tyrant. You do not have to banish it. You only have to let it be one voice among many in the council of your attention. The council can then vote for sleep. Think of the view from above. Marcus uses it like medicine. The city shrinks to lines of lamplight. The Tiber becomes a dark ribbon braided with moon. The noises of taverns and guard posts settle into a purring texture, like a cat at the foot of a bed. From high up, pride and shame are both smaller. Little fires you can step over. From high up, your problems arrange themselves into a pattern, and a pattern is easier to bless than a tangle. Bless it. Bless the pattern that placed you here, in this room, with this blanket and this breathing body. Bless the thousands of hands that built your safety tonight. Farmers, sailors, healers, makers, nameless keepers of gates. You do not owe them frenzy. You owe them rest. We are made for each other. Your sleep is a gift to the whole. The emperor is also a father who has buried children. He knows the ache of empty rooms. He knows how grief sits at the table even when no plate is set for it. He does not write away sorrow. He writes a way to hold it without letting it drink your strength. He instructs himself. Do not add opinion to pain. If pain is present, let it be as clean as possible. If sadness lies beside you, let it lie. Do not put it on your chest. Let it rest on its own pillow. If you sleep, it may sleep too. He writes of reputation and the vapors that trail behind it. He sees the amphitheater roaring for another man one afternoon and empty the next, the sand raked flat as if nothing heroic had happened there. He knows how quickly a crowd forgets, how quickly the mouth that praised you yawns, how quickly the mural of your deeds fades in rain. He calls fame breath and lets the wind carry it where it will. If others' opinions of you have been loud today, set them outside your door with your sandals. Come into the quiet room barefoot. The floor is cool. The room is yours. He speaks of justice not as a speech but as a posture. Back straight, eyes kind, hands busy with the work in front of them. He knows that perfect knowledge is not necessary for good action. That certainty is a coat you rarely need. He repeats the line, either providence or atoms. Whichever is true, the law of kindness still holds. Let this be your coat tonight, kindness to your own mind, to your own body. Put it on and feel how much less you need. There is a baker in the night. awake as you are for a different reason. He feeds a fire with olive wood. He leans into heat. He slides a paddle beneath loaves and listens to the hollow drum of a finished crust. Outside, a cat curls into a circle on a doorstep. In the alley, amphorae lean like sleeping soldiers. Steamy air smells like wheat and ash. The baker, who never reads a line of philosophy, lives a sentence Marcus loves. The work of a human is to do what is human. Your human work now is to sleep. The baths at midday are noisy. The slap of water, the hiss of hot, the scrape of strigils, the low talk of deals and gossip. But at night the tiles cool. A custodian sweeps pumice across stone. Oil-slick footprints dry to ghost and then vanish. Where a crowd was, there is a hush. This is the difference between day and night. Not that life stops, but that it narrows to soft tasks that do not demand eyes. Let your life narrow to soft tasks now. Turn a little to comfort. Place a hand where it pleases you to feel weight. Let the mouth fall open if it wants. Let the eyes decide when to close. If you wake in the night, Marcus would give you the same provisions he gives himself when discouraged in the morning. He would hand you your few tools. Begin again. What is this really? Either providence or atoms. Do the next right thing. We are made for each other. He would remind you that repeating yourself is not failure. Repetition is a rope. You hold it and hand over hand, it lowers you into sleep. On some nights he is not in Rome. He is in a tent, the lamp hooded, the canvas thrumming with rain. A messenger sleeps near the entrance, wrapped in a cloak that smells of horse and damp leather. The emperor writes quickly, because the oil is low. He notes that fear often comes wearing clever clothes. What if? What then? What about? He notes that fear is a poor prophet. He notes that breath is a better teacher than dread. He notes that the man who keeps his judgments cool keeps his heart steady. He lets the stylus rest. He closes his eyes like any other man. Allow yourself to close yours. Hardships we no longer know skim under these sentences like fish in a dark canal. No anesthetic for toothache. A fever that either breaks or does not. Smoke in every room. Cloth that irritates until it softens. Iron that rusts and must be mended by hand. Ink that fades unless tended. Letters that take weeks to arrive, if they arrive at all. A child coughing in the night with no explanation but the gods of the air. And yet people lay down. And yet the body knows how to pull a coverlet over itself. And yet a city sleeps. Let this be a gentle correction to the mind that demands perfect conditions before it will rest. You do not need more perfect. You need less demand. Marcus returns to humility not as a moral pose but as a performance enhancer. The less he needs to be praised, the more he can work. The less he needs to be certain, the more he can act. Humility is a tool that clears the bench. Lay down your titles in a small pile at the foot of the bed. Lay down your roles. Lay down your arguments. You can pick them up in the morning, lighter for having been set down. He tells himself that the ruling principle, the hegemonikon, should be kept clear. Clear does not mean empty. It means uncluttered and ready. Like a table wiped after supper. Like a courtyard swept before dawn. Like a mind that has rinsed itself of the day's leftover flavors. Sleep is the rinsing. You ask me about the hegemonikon? Listen then, as a friend. There is in you a small throne, set not in marble but in attention. On it sits the part that judges appearances assents or refuses, and sets in motion your impulses. This is the hegemonikon. It is not your flesh which ages, not your reputation which is breath in other mouths, not your possessions which pass from hand to hand. It is the pilot. If the pilot keeps his course, the sea cannot shame him. What it does, you wonder? Receives impressions. A sound, a face, a pain, a memory. These knock at the door. Judges them. Is this good, bad, or neither? Mine to shape or not? Commands action. From its judgment springs impulse. To speak, to be silent, to help, to refrain. Most people live as if the impression were already the fact, and the fact already a wound. Do not let the first picture paint the whole wall. What is this really? If it is outside virtue and choice, it is outside praise and blame. The hegemonikon remains free. You probably wonder how it is harmed and how it is kept safe. Nothing external injures it. Only your own judgment can stain it. A harsh word, an illness, a change of fortune. These touch the body, the wallet, the calendar. They do not touch the ruling part unless it chooses to wear their color. Keep it clear, like water that reflects the sky but is not the sky. Keep it kind, for we are made for one another. Keep it ready, for the world asks work of us. When anger comes, say, this is an impression. When pleasure flatters, say, this too is an impression. Then ask, what is in my power here? What is fitting to a human, social, rational, born to serve the common good? Let the ruling part choose the answer, not the sensation. Its city and its law. The hegemonikon is not a tyrant standing alone. It is a citizen of a greater city, the whole made by gods and men. It thrives when it lives by the law of that city. Justice, truthfulness, self-command, service. Do not bend it to private advantage. Bend it toward the common good. A mind aligned with the whole is like a limb aligned with the body. Strong, purposeful, and at peace. Its time and place. Its time is now. Not yesterday's parade of regrets. Not tomorrow's theater of fear. Give it the present task. Do the next right thing. Its place is within. The inner room that cannot be besieged unless you open the gates. Close them to rumor and panic. Open them to reason and goodwill. Its exercises. Name and narrow. This is a pain in the leg. It is not a bad thing in the soul. Already you have cut the problem down to size. View from above. Rise in mind and see the little drama as a dot among many. The dot becomes harmless. Providence, or atoms. Whether the world is guided or only moving by nature's laws, your duty is the same. Be decent, be helpful, be calm where you can. Begin again. If you slip, start over at once. A quick return cleans more than a long self-reproach. Fire, not ash. Cast into a small steady fire a handful of chaff, a twig, a drop of oil. It burns, brightens, and is made fuel. So with the ruling part, whatever is thrown upon it, it uses for virtue. Patience, courage, temperance, justice. Do not pray for lighter burdens. Pray for a stronger ruling part, and then make it strong by practice. Body and fate. The body will age. Let it. Guard its health as a steward, not as a worshipper. If pain visits, keep the judgment cool. This is endurable or it ends. The hegemonicon can choose nobility in either case. If death comes, either we dissolve into the elements or return to the source. In both outcomes, there is no shame for what is natural. Keep the ruling part unstained until the last breath. That is victory enough for a human being. What to remember at once? What touches the soul is opinion. Erase the opinion. Do the work in front of you for the whole. Keep the mind clear, kind and ready. Begin again. Guard this throne, sit upright upon it. Let appearances knock, let reason answer. Then whatever the day brings, rain, war, praise, silence, the hegemonicon remains what it was born to be. Free, just, and at peace. Now that I have explained what the hegemonicon is, let's dive back into the life and teachings of Marcus Aurelius. Imagine the Aventine at night. The hill is a dark shoulder. Torches sway on a late patrol. Dogs answer each other from courtyards. A fig tree drops a fruit with a soft thud. An owl unspools a ribbon of sound. Wind moves through cypress and laurel and carries the faintest spice of myrrh from a shrine. The man with the notebook has put it away. He is only a body now, a pulse, a breath counting itself without your help. His philosophy is not a performance. It is a blanket. It covers what it can and lets the rest be night. Let your philosophy be that simple tonight. Let it be a blanket of 5 threads. Begin again. What is this really? Either providence or atoms. Do the next right thing. We are made for each other. They do not have to be in order. They only have to be near. If a thought returns, give it a seat near the door. Do not send it away angry. Do not invite it to the table. Let it sit. Let it listen to the quiet as you listen to the quiet. Eventually it will do what tired things do. It will sleep. When morning comes, you can rise like the baker, like the custodian, like the emperor who tells himself, "Rise, you were born for this." But that is not yet. For now, do the next right thing. Close your eyes if they want to close. Let the breath be gentle. Feel the bed take your weight and not complain. Begin again. Begin again. Begin again. If you hear this and still haven't fallen asleep, let's do some meditations of our own. Just listen to my voice, and I will guide you through this. Lie down. Let the surface under you carry your weight. If you prefer to sit, that's fine. Lying down is ideal. Unclench your jaw. Feel how heavy your eyelids are. Place the tongue gently on the roof of the mouth. Breathe through the nose, all the way down low in the belly. You have nothing to fix at this moment. If a thought appears, be indifferent about it and leave it where it is. And just remember to begin again. That's all you have to do. Count only the exhalations from 1 to 10. If you lose the count, begin again at 1. Use the pauses as true silence. Cycle 1. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out 5. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out 10. Begin again. Cycle 2. In. Out 1. In. Out. In. Out. Exin. Out. In. Out 5. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out 10. either providence or atoms. Your rest is the same. Cycle 3. In, out 1, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out 5, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out 10, begin again. Cycle 4. In, out 1, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out 5, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out 10, what is this really? Only an exhale. Cycle 5. In, out, 1. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, 5. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, 10. Begin again. Cycle 6. In, out, 1. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, 5. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, 10. Do the next right thing. Sleep is the work now. Cycle 7. In, out, 1. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out 5, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out 10, begin again. Cycle 8, in, out 1, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out 5, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out 10, we are made for each other. Your rest helps the whole. Drop the numbers. Let breathing breathe itself. If a thought arrives, let it pass like a cloud that doesn't need a name. If a sensation speaks, call it by one word: shoulder, jaw, belly, then let it be. Notice the whole body at once. Begin again from the next exhale if you wish. Cooled the breath. Cool the thought. cool the feeling. Begin again. Either providence or atoms. Nothing to carry. Nothing to fix. Only this breath. Begin again. If you wake later in the night, return to exhale 1 to 10 and begin again.